Good morning. This morning I'm going to put my nameplates on Concrete Bob and Sir Robert McAlpine. This locomotive has two different names on it, but they are the same person. I'm using a Stanley knife, a Dremel, loco holder. Obviously I have the nameplates, some PVA glue, a cocktail stick and two cotton buds, and last but not least, probably the most important thing, is a piece of perspex. Obviously you can substitute these for a piece of metal or anything, and you're just watching what I'm doing just to get an idea. But the most important thing is you do not bend these. Do not bend them, because you bend them, you will never straighten them and they will never look right. Anyway, let's get to it, and thank you for watching. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is I've got the perspex and I'm using that to make sure this stays flat. And I'm going to cut out my names. And I hold it down flat and pushing hard. Finger right to the end of the plate, pushing hard, and push down hard on the tab. Same with the other side. Push down hard. Do not bend these nameplates. You bend them, you're going to have to buy some new ones. And I'll have a look if I release this. Not yet, so I'm going to go from the other side. Give it a push. But as I say, the most important thing is you do not bend these nameplates. You bend them, they're unusable. So have I got any out yet? And if you have to, just gently move it. But the important thing is you make sure it stays flat. Don't force them to come out, just keep this Stanley knife blade, if I'm honest, I'll probably think is knackered. It's been used to push out metal nameplates God knows how many times, and the blade has seen better days. Now what you can do, where you may not have actually quite got it off, is it's called work hardening, where you move a piece of metal backwards and forwards and it ends up being hard and comes apart. Now these are perfectly flat. Now the next thing you do, you may not be able to see these, but there are little burrs on the end here. You probably can't see them, difficult to focus. Now what you do is I use the Dremel to take the burrs off. Now you have the Dremel going away from where you're holding the nameplate. If you try and use a file against one of these backwards and forwards, you are going to cause it to twist, buckle and bend. So now what I do is I use my hands to hold this against the Dremel. If I used a pair of pliers holding it tight, there's a chance I could score or damage the nameplate, and you'll see here I need it to go faster because and that's done. Now what can help is you can see the burr a lot more if you hold the nameplate against a white background. I am using the bag the nameplate came in, and I can see the burr as clear as day. As I say, I've used my hand really quick, and I think the burr's off. And you feel with your hand, you can feel with your hand if you have a burr. And if you put the nameplate on a white background, you can see even better. So I'll do the next one, I'll show you again. Put my hand as close as I can. I hold the nameplate against the white background so I can see, and I take the burr off, and it's taken me a second. You try and find it, you're going to bend them. It's as simple as. Try and show you. And you feel this, and the burrs are gone. And what we'll do, that we haven't done before, is we will zoom in and show you these nameplates. Okay, here are my nameplates, the best I can show you, and hopefully you can see that there's no burrs on them. Right, I'm going to put the nameplate on the locomotive, this Sir Robert McAlpine, and what you do is just put a line of PVA glue along the middle. Now that is a bit thick, so what I'll do is I'll take it off, spread it around a bit. You don't need too much, put a little bit on the end, and I use my hands because I found if I use tweezers there is a risk of me scratching the loco or damaging the nameplate. And there we go, I'll put it on and you just line it up. And what you do is push it down, you lick your cotton bud and you remove any excess glue. It's as simple as remove any excess glue, and I just move it along. That's the great thing about PVA glue. Now, to finish off with the cocktail stick, I can see that's not quite covering the template. And I can see now that that is spot on. And it's that simple. No big deal. And I'll move to the other side now, but you've got to be careful not to wreck your handiwork. So I'm tipping it at an angle. I use a cocktail stick again, like a 17th century scribe, and I just put my glue in the middle. There might be a bit too much there, but that's not the end of the world. And as I say, I do it with my hand, and you can see why it needs to be flat. Push it down, and as I said, there's a bit too much there, so you just lick the cotton bud. You're not going to be poisoned with PVA glue. And don't use super glue, because if you don't get this right first time, you've wrecked your loco body, and a new body's about 30 quid, maybe even more, and that's if it's available. Move it across. Look at it from the top. I think that's just a little bit out, just a tad. But the great thing about PVA glue is you can move things down a bit, move it up a little bit, push it along a little bit, because you've got time to line it up. And be careful, because the glue can make it look like it's out as well. And there we go, job done. Thank you very much for watching.